Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Carla and I like all things stationery. It has been quite a long time. How are you all? I wish I could say things have been nice and calm since the last time I posted here, but that would not really be true. But before I talk about anything at all, I want to say a few words about this video's project. For quite a while, I had wanted to send my niece and nephew a package with a few of my stationery extras. They are both in school now, and I remember really liking stationery, stickers, nice papers, and so on, so I wanted to send them a few things. Of course, in my head, this also meant making a full type of Penpal project. Basically, I use this as an excuse to try and make one of these paper cards that slide up and down. I know that there are probably plenty of tutorials out there on how to make this, and just to be clear, this is not a tutorial. Do not follow this. I make a lot of mistakes. It's just the way I like to craft. I like to figure things out by myself, make my own mistakes, and move on. And I thought that I would bring you along on this discovery journey. So the idea for this came after receiving some marketing package. I think it was the stuff that I received with our new TV box, and they had this sliding merchandise card, and I thought it would be really cool to have this in a Penpal project. So I kind of tear it apart and looked at how it was constructed, and now you're here seeing me trying to recreate this. Now you know where the idea started. Here was my plan. I needed to create a box that would hold a middle section. This middle section is where I would need a piece of plastic to wrap around it and do this sliding movement. To the plastic, I needed to glue the paper that would be coming off of the top and bottom of the project, and that's the visible part that you push and pull. Finally, I wanted all of this to be in a booklet type of project, so the other side would also have a little pocket with some goodies or some extra things. As I mentioned before, and as you will see, I made a few mistakes along the way, and as usual, although I ended up with a nice functional booklet, it is far from perfect. Also, I'm quite proud of how pink this turned out. I did not start this project thinking about the color pattern, it just evolved into being super pink, and pink is not really my favorite color, so I'm really happy about how this turned out. Now coming back to the life section of this voiceover, it has been some strange times. You might hear it in my voice, but I'm going through a cold yet again, or maybe it is the same one for the last 3 to 5 months. I know that it's been a long time since I could properly breathe through my nose for a full day without the help of some nice nasal sprays. I know it's the flu season that matched up with some unknown allergies, and possibly allergic rhinitis is not doing me any favors. Also, my little guy started at daycare and he's been sick quite often. actually is sick right now. That helps understand why there hasn't been a video in all these months, even though I had hoped to start posting more regularly since January. Worst of all, I feel guilty that I have so many pen pals still waiting for my letter, but I don't really have the opportunity to craft. I have all these ideas inside my head, but no opportunity or time to actually do them. Anyway, that was a little bit of a short rambling on how life is, and yeah, we're surviving. And then I had issues with the microphone, working on the program that I currently use to edit my videos, and finally today I'm recording this. It's now early March. This video was probably made in like September of last year. I finally have some time alone. The kid is asleep for the night, and I still have some energy left to do this voiceover, so let's hope this video will actually come out soon. Anyway, I started this project by choosing a paper to create a booklet and the skeleton of this project. In perfect synchrony with my own style of crafting, I had no measurements and did not even try to make any measurements. I mean, what would be the worst thing that can happen? Having a crooked project? I can live with that. So I folded the paper in three, and my thought was that the part on the left would kind of act like the cover and have a small pocket on the inside, and on the right we would have this sliding mechanism that I'm trying to build. I tried to use some scrap paper to create the main mechanism, and boy did I struggle with trying to understand how to actually glue this. In the meantime, I did cut some paper to be the little flats that you pull up and down. And I was sure that this was gonna work, but no. First of all, the pieces of paper that I was trying to pull up and down were too small. No one would be able to pull or push anything with this. It wouldn't work. So I had to go back and cut bigger pieces. Once I had it, I thought now's the time. I just glue this to the plastic and it works. But then I realized that the plastic part was also too small, and you still wouldn't be able to see the paper sides. So I had to scrap that idea as well and take another piece of paper, find another piece of plastic that I could use, and try it again. But I was kind of okay with this because I was struggling with trying to glue this middle section. If you saw, I tried to create these little teeny tiny hinges and it was really hard to glue them. This gave me an opportunity to rethink how to stabilize this middle section. And I thought about creating these little paper hinges with extra bits of paper. And it kind of worked out. Yay! So from then on, it was kind of simple. I just close this mechanism section so no one can see inside it, and I need to create the little pocket. I've also tried to cut some half circles on the top and bottom so it would be clear that you would have to do something with this paper. I don't have a punch cutter of this size, so I improvised with a round object that I found around me. Then I noticed that the paper I chose would obviously only show the pattern in one of the sides, so I had to fix that. And try to decorate the project. Probably if I had known this, and this seems quite an obvious thing, but I didn't realize it. But I would likely have decorated these two strips of paper before I glue them into the project. It would be so much easier. But since I didn't, I'm just trying to use bits and pieces and scraps of paper that I have and decorate this whole thing in a kind of minimalist way. In the meantime, another thought that I had was how to actually have goodies coming out of this, because my goal was not to have cards with messages that you would pull up and down, but actually you pull and surprise, there's some stickers for you. So for that I used a doily on the top section that I half folded, as you see in the image, and I wanted it to not be super tight and actually act as a little pocket that would open up when you pull this. So I made a few folds to create a space and I just glued it in, and that was done. And for the bottom, I did a very teeny tiny envelope with one of my envelope templates. As I'm feeling chatty at the moment, and while you watch me still decorate the project, because that's what's gonna happen now, a lot of decoration and eventually also working into the left side and decorating that and creating the pocket. So while you see me doing that, let's chit chat. I am doing other things apart from penpaling and videos. There's one thing I can do with my kid around, which is crocheting or knitting, and I have been wanting to get rid of my yarn, all the yarn I have here. It's not enough to create a single project with the scraps of yarn, so I just thought about what could I do with this, and I ended up on a blanket, a corner to corner blanket. So I did that for a while until I used all my yarn that was approximately the same group of yarns, and now I feel that it's okay for me to choose a project and get more yarn. I'm thinking of trying to knit a garment. I feel more comfortable doing crochet than I do knitting, but I really want to make some clothing pieces. I was actually thinking of trying to make a little vest for my son. I think that would be hopefully an easy project to start with before I move on to making something for me, because that would mean much yarn and a much bigger project. So that's one of the things. Another thing that I picked up was reading. I went from reading maybe, I don't know, 9 books in 2024 to slightly over 40 last year. And I don't know if it's cheating if you have manga in that, but I don't care. I'm proud of myself. And I've started the year good as well, and I've been enjoying reading quite a lot. I'm currently reading a cozy romantasy. It's what I tend towards after finishing harder books or heavier books, and since I just finished the Hannibal trilogy, I needed something fluffy and cozy and not super hard, so I'm quite enjoying that. I think next on my list to read for the month of March will be As I Lay Dying and The Handmaid's Tale. Those are, I think, slightly harder reads, so there will probably be some more romantasy stuck in there. Please leave me your suggestions for cozy romantasy books, preferably books that are not in a series. I'm not interested in reading 5 to 15 books in a row about the same topic. I just want one cozy standalone story, please. Again, let me know if you have any of that. In terms of gaming, I have been going back to Stardew Valley just because, you know, when life is a mess, I find comfort in being able to organize a lot of items in neat little containers and having a simpler online life so much easier. Do you have any good cozy game recommendations as well that I can get lost in? Or any good TV shows? Just let me know. As for YouTube, I have been watching a lot of Penpal with Dawn. I don't know why, it feels so relaxing, and she has so many creative projects to show. Lots and lots of pen paling letters. I quite like it. And I like chatty videos, and that's sometimes a little bit harder to find on YouTube when it comes to pen paling. Moving back to the video, the main skeleton of the project is done. As I mentioned a lot of times before, I'm really trying to use everything that I have, so I went to my boxes of fussy cut things and box of stickers and just pulled everything that kind of looked like they fitted. I also used some of this origami paper that I bought, and I'm really happy that I started to use that. My plan with my paper stash or things, as much as it was with my yarn stash, is to use the vast majority of it so I have the space to get more. I don't want to just get more and hoard it and keep it for a better day. I want to use it all. And I have so much stuff, but I also have a lot of ideas on how to use that. Let's just hope I have the time. Once I was happy with some of the decoration, I drafted some little messages to see how they would look on pencil, and I'm gonna later on put them in pen. For the cover, I try to keep it simple. They are quite young, and I think that this whole project and decoration is more for me than it is for them. I can say that these blue girls, flowers, and the ribbons are from Mochi Bujo. She's one of the creators I've been a patron to for quite a long time. There's a few it feels hard to let go of. Vivian is one that I've started way long ago, and I refuse to let that one go. Hedda from Mochi Bujo, I've been her patron for a while. Then I stopped for some time so that I could support other artists, and I've been her patron again for maybe half a year or more. And I like her art and drawing style, so I think I'll continue to support her for a while longer. Also, I actually met two people in real life from Hedda's patrons. We scheduled a little journaling session, and that was really good. Really good. I look forward to have that one repeated. So here I am again on another spare time and with different lighting, just finalizing this project, writing out my messages with a pen. finally, we have our little booklet with the push and pull system. It's a little wobbly, but it works. And it is time to fill it up. I put some sample washi tapes. For them, I chose colorful ones and things that I don't use. I had purchased these some time ago to give to them as well, so I included it. Then we have quite a lot of stickers. I went through my stash and chose like a few of each. I mean, I have quite a lot and I like to share them. I placed the bigger ones on top and the smaller ones on the bottom. Some of these are really tiny. I used one of the boxes from your creative studios to pack it up. I added some chocolate and candies, and I've also sent them other types of stationery that I was letting go, like these shaped punchers. These stamps that I don't use. I used for a little, but I don't really use them anymore. A cat mask. It was gifted by a Penpal. I had purchased this Hello Kitty pad from a second-hand shop and never really used it, because I thought it would be good to give away to pen pals, but it never really felt like my style. The Hey You is a postcard with my message. Then we have some sticker sheets, some rub-on stickers that I bought but still have a lot, and I've had them for quite so many years. I really wanted to fill out the gaps, and this was, I think, soon after Halloween, and I had leftover candy, so of course I'm gonna fill the gaps with the candy. And there we have it, a full box that has been sent to my niece and nephew, and they have received it. Anyway, this was the project. I hope you enjoyed this chatty video. I hope you have a lovely day. See you next time. Bye.